My name is Andy Lengube, and here, the Motsepe Foundation, which is a sponsorship that aims to nurture interests and aspirations with cultural sectors, recognizing that sports, arts, and culture are levers of economic development and shared prosperity. The Motsepe Foundation is one of the largest philanthropic organizations in Africa. Not just in Africa. They've aligned to 12 of the 17 SDGs. We'll speak a little bit about that as well. Now, they focus on a couple of things that are important to the youth of South Africa. Creative and cultural industries, which contribute 3% to South Africa's GDP, plus 1 million jobs in South Africa for young people, 3.1% to the global GDP, and 6.2% of employment worldwide. So, we're here this evening to shine the spotlight on two of those incredible sponsorships that have created a legacy in this country. The Kay Motsepe Schools Championship, and I think if you listen to that, the Kay Motsepe Schools Championship, the name, what's in the name? How do we get to that name, and how has that contributed to where we are now? The ABC Motsepe South African Schools Choral at Eisteddfod, I used to have that name when I used to write at school, and they said, Andy, let's spell Eisteddfod. I'm sure a lot of us would fail here. But of course, in partnership with Sanlam Group, both properties have geared up for an exciting and impactful return, bringing together thousands of young talents from across South Africa in a celebration of sponsorship, leadership, and community spirit. The competition is the biggest of its kind in South Africa, with over 10,000 schools participating annually, and a prize money worth, you know what? I'm not going to talk about money, because there are people that need to talk about money here. But it's a mouth-watering, lotto-winning number when you do see it. This money is allocated to improving schools' facilities, in provision, of course, of equipment and for travel, not only locally, internationally as well. While we're on that, let me give you a bragging moment here that also broke my heart a little bit. Last week, my daughter, who's 12 years old, Araceli, made the South African national team in drum major race. A very proud moment. And with that being said, the world champs were taking place in France. So the South African representation were going to France to partake in this, and I was proud of that. And we're told early, and because I'm let's say privileged enough to wear a blue suit, and therefore the guys at Sanlam said, Andy, come do some work. I had a little bit of a kitty to give to my daughter, to be a part of this, because every parent has to pay from their own pocket. They're kids who made that team, who have the South African national team tracksuit, who never made it onto that flight, because it was dependent on the pockets of the parents. So when we speak about international competitions that you hear, at the robots, kids with papers saying, hey, please help us, we need a sponsor to go here and there. It's a difficult thing for most. They came back, by the way, just last week, and I'm glad to say that I might not have ever been, but my daughter's a world champion. Something I'm very proud of. So Sanlam's involvement in the Kay Motsepe Championship and Eisteddfod Schools Choral Clash underscores and, of course, speaks to the company's commitment to youth development and holistic long-term development as well. This event aims to highlight the synergies between sports and achieving financial confidence. Sports and finance may seem like two different worlds. Sampokekana, I saw him here, he must tell us, do sports and finance go hand in hand? Does he still have petrol? But Sanlam believes they share powerful parallels, and we'll get into that. Hello! And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to be here. SABC Sport. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Motsepe Foundation and Sanlam, a very warm welcome to all of you. We look around this room, and it's interesting to see the various stakeholders that have come out together for this announcement. But before we get there, the show started, I'd like to begin by acknowledging some of those stakeholders who are here today. From the Motsepe Foundation, we do have founder and chairperson of the Motsepe Foundation, and also Confederation of African Football president. Is not in yet, but I am told he will come in, so perhaps I'll save that for a little bit later. But most importantly, the co-founder, the CEO, and I say this today, I don't normally, the mother, because it is important in what we're going to talk about, of the Motsepe Foundation, Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe. and all the key stakeholders of the Motsepe Foundation. I did see them coming in a little bit earlier. They've come in numbers. They're squad deep, if I may say. And from the Sanlam Group, we have a Chief Executive Officer of Sanlam Retail Mass, Mr. Bongani Matigiza. So they call you Mr. B here. Mr. B. Sanlam board members as well, Nicholas Pinker, Matukama Mukama, and Karabo Nundumo, Sanlam Group Exco members, Carl Sotigwa, who's also here representing them. We also have various stakeholders that form part of this property. South African Football Association, man who I have direct dealings with, because I must ask the tough questions. Dr. Danny Jordan is here as well. Doc, welcome. Always good to have you here as well. South African Schools Netball Vice Chairperson of Secondaries, Ms. Angie Homo Kekana, also here with us. Please allow me to acknowledge and welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being here. But the stakeholders, they're the mothers of this thing. They make it all happen. We have to acknowledge the representations that come from the different schools. Kay Motsepe Secondary, Mr. J.J. Khatle has brought some student. He's here. Buitumelong Secondary Schools, Ms. Dorcas Mlangeni is here as well. I realized I'm old when the teachers are younger than me. Venice Sports Academy, Mr. David Mafumari is here with us as well. I looked around the room. I was looking for a couple of players. Unfortunately, there weren't any. But Hlompo Kekana's, yeah? So Hlompo Kekana, former player, and also the most successful captain in South African football history, having captained Mamelodi Sundowns to a star at the Champions League. He's here, and he'll be talking to us. A big round of applause, please. And lastly, members of the team that I play for, of the media that come out whenever, we get together to do this. They say that, bad news goes around very quickly, and good news, it takes us time to get to Cape Town. It takes the garden route. But you guys are here to make sure that we do have the good news travel as well. Thank you so much for being here. And with all of that being said, please, may I join you? Can we have some conversations? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to start this with a bit of a story, Dr. Fish, because 2 weeks ago on my Metro FM Sports Show, I hosted Khutazo Munjani. She just come back from winning Wimbledon. She's now a treble holder as far as big trophies are concerned. And I had a conversation with her. She said, Andile, in 2017, I wanted to stop it all. I took my racket and I put it away and I started sending CVs because I just didn't have the money to carry on anymore. I just couldn't anymore. She said, unfortunately, nobody could hire me at the time. So I was like, now I must pick this racket up again. But that day highlighted how much talent is lost from there not being people like yourselves that sponsor and say, hey, as a mother, it's young.
Absolutely. Let me first start by acknowledging and thanking Sanlam, the executive, the Mr. B. Thank you very much for making this morning possible and for your commitment as a good corporate citizen in supporting youth empowerment in our country and doing your bit to empower the youth. The Kay Motsepe Schools Cup, it's an initiative that's very special to my heart and my husband, Patrice, who unfortunately is not here. The initiative is named after his mom, Kay Motsepe.
Oh, is that what Kay is?
Correct, it's Kineilwe. Oh, okay. Yes. So Mr. Motsepe and I met many years at West University, and when we decided to form our own foundation, the Motsepe Foundation, we focused on education because we felt that was very key to empowering our youth and ensuring that we end poverty in our communities. Yeah. But we also realized that sports is very, very important. As you correctly said, a lot of young people in the townships, in the rural communities who do not have the means to participate in sports, we could then support, identify them, give them a platform, and ensure that they succeed. The Kay Motsepe Schools Cup, its vision is to ensure that we can provide a platform for young people where they can realize their talents in education as well as in sports. Its values are very much around the values of my mother-in-law, who was a nurse but also a teacher. And she believed very much in holistic development. So a child who's in school, plays sports, competes better in class as well, performs better in class. Because sports teaches us teamwork. It teaches us to work with others. It teaches us to be disciplined. We want to be part of a winning team. So we participate in sports to learn, to persevere, to work hard, and to win. And those are some of the values of sports that we see. Social cohesion is another big one. So those are some of the values that my mother-in-law, Gineilwe, we honored her, particularly now with Women's Month coming up, and this is to her.
I mean, it's so important to have a mother that wants to see you do well, but so often in this country, we don't see mothers go out there and even have the time to watch their kids play. And the kids come back with all sorts of medals and say, I do this, I do that, and they never get to see them until they make it professionally, those that do. So to know that there's an angel mother in Gineilwe, Kay Motsepe, that overlooks it and says, my children, I'm here, is a beautiful thing. For those watching, we are live on channel 216 on Super Sports, and also, of course, on the Super Schools app. My social media details, please, let's spread the good news. Hashtag Sanlam Sport and hashtag Kay Motsepe Schools Championship, hashtag KMSC for short. Feel free to also tag Kay Motsepe Schools Championship at Kay Motsepe Schools Championship across all platforms. Mr. B? We're busy here, we're leaving you out of the conversation, so let's involve you. You are what's called being a good corporate citizen here, because if you do something for a year or two, you're just doing it to tick the boxes. But you guys have been in this now for years.
Yeah, thanks, Andile. Good morning to everyone. Look, Andile, I always start with stories. You get to an age where you have to cut your hair quite regularly because it's grey. and when you do that, one of the things that come out is the camaraderie when you are at the place where you cut your hair. It's there, and all of that is around sport. Is around the things that sport brings us together. It is a bridge that allows us to be a community. So what Sanlam does in sport, in culture, it is to bring that triangle together. You have education, you have sports and culture, and you have development. That triangle is a triangle that we're trying to build, because we have to be in the arena. You have to be there, you have to start somewhere. And we're doing our bit to start somewhere. Someone is going to say, we're not doing enough, but we are in the arena, we're doing something. And let's all hold hands and try and push this journey forward. In the Sanlam Group, we talk about empowering generations to be financially confident. Dr. Precious was talking about the discipline. It's the same thing. You were talking about how do you link, financial inclusion, financial confidence with sport. It's actually the thing that talks about the goal. Financial confidence, you have to have a goal. I'm going to buy a car. You must have a goal to win, and you must get that medal. You then have to work hard at the goal. If you don't work hard at the goal, you won't be able to achieve what you need to achieve. And that's what Sanlam is about, and we are privileged to be working with the Kay Motsepe Foundation and generally the Motsepe family, because it's quite important for us. My colleagues will beat me up because I always talk about if Dr. Precious says Mr. B, there's a halo effect here.
You get some of that light.
You get that light,
Oh man, great conversations being had here. But of course, we're here to announce something, ladies and gents. You know, it's come a long way. Thank you so much for giving us the perspective of where we are and how it became Kay Motsepe. What were the pillars of the foundations of a home that's now become the pillars of the foundation and South Africa at large. 20 years later, we're still moving strong, and here we are.
Absolutely. It's really a proud moment. 20 years is a long time. I mean, when we started, it was probably with, a few schools back in 2002, and now we are in 2024, and we are in more than 11,000 schools that participate.
Hold on, Doc. Come on, a big round of applause. 11,000 schools. That's just in football. So we have national competitions. We've got provincial competitions that end up in national competitions with prizes being given every year. What excites me about the competition is that the prize money goes back towards development of infrastructure in schools. It goes back towards development of the community. For instance, one of the schools that won previously built a borehole next to their school, and that served the school as well as the local community. One of the schools has a computer center that they built. That's for the school, but also for entrepreneurs in the community. So it brings the community together, through sports. It's just a sporting activity that brings the community together. I also like what Mr. B said. It's thinking. It's thinking.
Oh my gosh. Forgive me. There are such strong parallels between sports and business. In sports, you compete, you have teamwork, and you have all that. In business, you do the same. You have your strategy. You don't win without a strategy. You have competitors. You have to know what your competitors are doing. So sports also fosters entrepreneurship amongst young people. I'm really excited to see how the young people that come through the sporting activities think about how they can start their own businesses and therefore take themselves out of poverty and also support their communities. It's also important, if I may, just for bragging rights here, with the football, we've got the likes of Ronwin Williams. When I watched him stop 4 goals in Cote d'Ivoire in succession.
What a moment.
That was quite a brilliant moment. And you know where it started? At grassroots. So this competition is so important for building that pipeline of exceptional players in football, in the Eisteddfod, the choral competitions. Pretty Yende comes from this platform.
Wow.
And I have to acknowledge our partners also, the Department of Education, because we've worked with them for a very long time with these competitions. So it is a multi-stakeholder relationship that has spent 20 years, and it was focused on students, focused on the youth. And for some of us, it's also very important to ensure that there is inclusivity for all of us, actually. Ensuring that women participate in sports through the netball competitions, through football as well. The under 14s now that has been initiated since 23 will ensure that we have a pipeline of young people that play for the under 19s. So it's really exciting, and to have partners who are committed to ensuring that we have more young people like your daughter at the Olympics who come back as champions.
Hey.
So yes, it's been a phenomenally successful 20 years. I think our chairman, Mr. Motsepe, our trustees, our stakeholders, partners, and the schools and young people who've also been committed to using this platform and leveraging the platform for their benefit.
Oh, and we thank you. It's easy to look away. You didn't. You looked straight into it and said, let's jump in. And I know you always feel like it's not enough. You always feel like there could be more. But it began somewhere. And look at to where it's grown. Thank you so much for that. Speaking of growth, Mr. B, you know, when it started, we saw the money, it was nice. Where are we now? As we renew, 20 years odd later, the investment has shown itself. Because Pretty Ender's victories and wins on that stage are your wins. Ronald Williams' saves are your saves. When he saved those, this whole company should have been shaking because that was your hands there as well that got him there. That then says what we're putting in is worthwhile. What is it that we're putting in?
We'll get to the money just now. Get to the money just now. No, I think it's important when we talk about money, we start at the core of why we thought this is important.
Of course.
Because when you have an organization like Sanlam, it has to work with people that have the same value system. And that's why we think this thing is going to be successful. I'm not saying it's successful or has been. I'm saying it's going to be successful because we are aligned from a value perspective. There is nothing as powerful as that enables us to do things together. So I think it's quite important for us. The second thing is, we'll get to the money, don't worry. I know you, you know, we have a passion for this continent. The Motsepe Foundation has a passion for this continent. We need to be doing more to uplift the continent. We are fortunate to be in 34 countries in the continent as the Sanlam Group. And we don't take that responsibility lightly, because when you are in those countries, you are seen as part of the citizenry in that country. And therefore, they ask you, show us where you come from, Ren. Don't tell us what you're going to do here. Show us where you come from. And the things we do in South Africa should be a picture to those that we're still going to do things with in the rest of the continent. Now, let's get to the money. So, we have obviously 11 million that is prize money.
11 million rands.
Yes.
That is prize money. Meaning
money.
this is the money that goes to schools annually.
Yes.
That is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. 11 million rands that goes to the schools annually.
And the total property that we spend as both the Motsepe Foundation and Sanlam is 24 plus 8. And I'll tell you why I'm making that differentiation.
If somebody ever gives me money and they say, I'll give you 24 plus 8, I'll be very confused.
I think 24 is for the sports part,
Yeah.
which is the soccer, the netball. It's quite important that you have a slight differentiation, and it's not because of me. Don't think it's me. But you can see I'm not a sports. Yeah. So the property is the 24 plus the 8 for the Choral. What is that?
Eisteddfod.
That way. And it's quite important for us to know that we're able to help kids who may not be sporty, but who have other skills, because also infusing our culture in how we raise our kids is critical to a South Africa that is going to be successful. Okay.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I think if we're going to get quotables for today, that's one that we must write down and keep. You know, whether raising your own or raising kids around you, the points that we're making here is raising children and raising a country of leaders one day is what I'm hearing constantly. Yes, you're 24-8. Yes. Well, we're still there. I don't know that formation. I've never seen it. How does it play?
So, 24 plus 8 you still calculating?
No. The math is there. I'm sure. Am I getting 32? Am I getting 24 and 8?
No, you're getting 32. That's the total amount that is on the table.
Amazing.
And I keep on saying this. People don't have an appreciation of how critical it is that there are people who don't look away. But Dr. Motsepe are not looking away, and they can, because some are. They're not looking away, and not only that, they're saying to us, come along. And we're working together to make sure that this thing is much bigger. And I think for us, it is that focus on how we build the thing to the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love everything I've heard here, and I hope you do too. It's our children, because so often, Dr. Jenny Jordan sitting there will tell you, who's very hard when it comes to our sports in this country. You know, I sit there on the radio every day and I say, no, this is not good enough. There's one part that I think we keep on saying is not good enough, but we fail to acknowledge what's already happened. Dr. Jordan will tell you that everybody says our football is where it is because schools football has gone to the dogs. Schools football is not funded enough. But we fail to see that there's 11,000 schools that play football at this level. That play football that not only changes the boys' lives, but the lives of the community around them as well. A borehole in the community, a computer center in the community, and so much more. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Dr. Precious, once again, you've taught me something about life. And if you are in the audience or at home and you're a mamazala, I hope the lesson is be so good that one day when Makoti sits here, she glowingly speaks about you. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you coming. It's always a pleasure to have you. Mr. B, we appreciate you as well. And of course, the 24 plus 8 maths. It's been a lesson. Thank you so much. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please have your seats. We appreciate you. For all of you joining, the hashtags are there. Join us on social media. Let's have the conversation. Thank you, Mr. B. Let's have the conversation and let's keep this going. Over 10,000 schools in the KMS football. Over 250 schools in Eisteddfod each year. The inaugural KMSC took place back in 2004. And this year, being 2024, marks 20 years of the celebration and a renewal, again, of what we've built here. The foundation, along with Sanlam, has been around for so long and they're doing the good work, but we want to see the work. We want to see who it is, the impact and the influence of the Kay Motsepe Foundation and of course Sanlam. What is this influence that they've got? Let's hear it firsthand from the people that are the winners. 2023 rather, evidence approach, how the prize money has elevated the school's products of KSMC, the talent nurturing and the identification of that as well. Please help me welcome onto stage the beneficiaries who have achieved so much from having been a part of this. Mr. JJ Khatle, Ms. Dorcas Mlangeni, and Mr. David Mufumadi, who together, the three of them, come from different schools. One of them from Tembisa, knows my father pretty well, who was a teacher in Tembisa as well. Please do have a seat and join us. But also, joining us is a man who is a direct beneficiary of this as well. Please help me welcome a good friend of mine, Hlompho Kekan, El Capitano. The only soccer player I know is Nang Lekwekwe. Don't understand me. Hlompho?
Yes, sir.
Are you well?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
You know, I know you well, and I've spoken about your story growing up in Limpopo with your beloved mother, who's such a big supporter. But this thing is only 20 years old, man. What are those other little? You know what Chepi's little league?
No, made Precious Motsepe all the way to Ugua Mining because I was the founder of this tournament. So actually, we were the first generation to play the tournament.
The first year?
First generation to play the tournament.
Really?
So, yeah.
Where were you? What was the school?
I was at Dwashu High School in Limpopo.
Grade month?
Grade 10 at the time. So I went to school there. Yeah.
But
Oh,
Topo, talk to me about this, because
Yeah.
you and I have a generation when we used to watch the Two for Joys
Yes.
play, go FNB. I remember Steve Lekwele was a short in an orange kit. It was Chappie's Little League then. And we used to think, "Ish, one day, when that died, I wondered where we'd get that opportunity."
Yeah.
Talk to me about hearing about this, Kay Motsepe, and it coming to your school. Did you even know? What did you think? What was it?
You know, firstly, it's a platform where every villager would love to have. And it gave us a sense of belonging because not many tournaments you have at school in the village. And when Kay Motsepe arrived, we didn't know much about it. We just know that it's from this one billionaire called Mr. Patrice Motsepe. We want to play for him, you know. But little did we know that this is going to give us platform just to, you know, express ourselves the way we know how in the game that we love so much. And Doctor here spoke about when you are in sport, you participate well at class. And that gives me a sense of belonging, like I said, because I remember when I failed grade 10, I was like, oh, this is difficult. But when this tournament came, then you get to mingle with other children from other
Because to
schools.
play, you must go to school.
Yeah. So then it now stretches your mind. You think properly because you think even beyond your imagination, because then now you're competing outside the school. Even the competition, you're going to bring it to the school. So the prize money, of course, is not the issue when you are in the village. You don't know about those numbers, 8 plus whatever. But what we know is you have a platform where you can express yourself before you could go home and face all those, you know, the dramas at home. When you get home, sometimes you don't have food to eat. But because you participated in a tournament that you know you have expressed yourself, you enjoy it. You know, you even forgot about when I get home, I might not get food to eat.
The archer is a mother in Kay Motsepe, who has become a mother of so many in this country through the foundation and the work that the foundation does. Hence, it's amply named after her. I think to see the importance of this, Hlompo Kekana has played all over the world. I was with you guys at Mamelodi Sundowns when we went to Japan.
Yeah.
You played in the cold of Japan representing Mamelodi Sundowns. You won and came back with a trophy out of Cairo. But one of the most important days in his entire career was the only time when you were playing, and I know this because, like I said, he's a friend, when you were still young in the village.
Yeah.
Your mother only came to watch you once.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a day you never forget.
Yeah. It is a tournament as well, where all the villagers will gather in one pitch, not pitch, ground. Because
Yeah, there's a difference.
So my mother at the time, she was on leave. Fortunately, she came to watch me for the first time. Okay, she didn't get the fuss, but she was proud to see me playing for the first time. And she was like, "Oh, Papa, I saw you for the first time play. But I don't know, why are these people happy that you play football?" But it was just a normal match. For her, it was normal because I'm her son. But to many of those who came to watch, they were excited about that. And for me, I was over the moon because I competed with the rest of the village. Now they know my name.
It's a name you would carry on his back, and the world would know his name. Nominated, Hlompo, actually, a crazy stat. Hlompo and Cristiano Ronaldo are, because we take it.
No, I'm quiet about it.
He's in line with Cristiano Ronaldo as the only people to have ever been nominated for the Puskas more than once.
Wow.
Yeah? And it all started with Kay Motsepe, ladies and gentlemen. He'd go on to know and meet that billionaire as he played for him at Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
And today representing the club store. Please, a big round of applause. Now we come to the teachers that, teachers are special. And I come from a mother and a father who were both teachers at Timbisa, in fact. You're talking about my dad just now, he was a teacher there, deputy principal at Bukamoso. And I know Timbisa pretty well. Hlompo spoke about the difference between a ground and a pitch. And that's what this is, isn't it? it's playing in this tournament in order to win it so you can elevate your community and your school from a ground to a pitch. Firstly,
Andy, thank you so much for having us here. You know, with us at Witumelong, the netball courts, they are not standard AC, right? So we improvise. We improvise. That one ball that we have, we give to the girls. We practice with that one ball. We try to have cones that we have received from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. It's not enough, you know, but then it's all about putting a mindset in those girls that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. So with this Kay Motsepe, it started when I was still at primary school, Kulesizwe Primary School, and then the girls were 12 years, and I heard of Kay Motsepe challenge, and I told the girls from the age of 12 that we are going for that. We are going for that championship, and I'm going to follow you going to secondary schools. So when the girls were under 14, I approached the school principal at Witumelong. I asked her, can I please coach the girls for you? And the principal, having a great heart, allowed us to coach the girls. And then we practice in that court, you know, lines not painted, not proper netball poles, but the girls pushed. And because of having the confidence and also making sure that the girls can believe in themselves, not look at the background and allow your background to hold you down. But all the time you tell yourself that I can achieve anything, because I believe that it all begins in the mind, and we had to work so hard. We really pushed so hard. We saw this. This was a goal. It was a goal, and we had to work towards achieving this goal. And we made it last year.
I think what you know, and I love that, because it tells a story of where it started. Where it ended is a bulk of the girls being on a flight for the first time internationally. Yes. Tell us about that. I want the story to end well. So there they are, they're under 12, they're Dorcas who believes in them. You know, once again, there's that conversation about a mother. Dorcas who believes in these 12-year-olds, they grow together with her, and then they're Singapore.
Yes, then they go to Singapore. Here we're talking about girls from the dusty streets of Tembis, you know, some from the informal settlements, Emadela, Pumasilwe, and
Pumasilwe. If we're not grow our communities, we need to change what we name them. I'm not going there anytime soon.
You know, and I remember when the girls we won the nationals. When they were 13, we got a bronze. We were still under Kulesizwe Primary School, then under 14. And Witumelong, the girls were ahead by 8 goals before halftime. Wow. We were playing quarterfinals. Second half, they won. We had to go for extra time, and then we lost. And then I realized that no, they are not strong mentally. Yeah. Physically, it's there, the skill is there. And then when they were 15, I said, girls, we're not going to lose it like we lost it last year. I had to work with the girls. I had to keep on declaring, telling them that you are not a loser, you're a winner. Victory starts with you believing that you are a victor. And I remember playing in Northwest. I was so grateful that my primary school principal allowed me to go and accompany the girls to Northwest when we were playing the national champs.
So you're coaching at a school that is not even the school that you teach at?
No.
You're saying, hey, I've seen potential, I want to grow with these kids. You follow the same group of girls to a high school where you say, I want to stay with them. Please allow me to give more of myself.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so when we got to Northwest, I remember them playing semifinals. We won semifinals, and there was this one school that we looked forward to play with in the finals, because that's the school we lost against when we were 14.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, this school is... It is. You see, the girls were playing. They are from Limpopo, and they were doing so well. And the girls, when that team lost in semifinals, I remember my captain said to me during a warm-up game, she said to me, Coach, did you see how the girls are crying? And I said, no, you are not coming with the negative energy. Yes, those girls are crying. and you will also be crying, but the difference now is that you will be having tears of joy. Because they're having tears of disappointment, you will have tears of joy. During warm-up, the girls are not disciplined, no focus, and I could see that, no, my girls are not going to win this game. If I allow them to continue like this, we are not going to win this. I called them, sat down with them, and said, remember, girls, what I said to you yesterday. We can do anything through Christ who gives us strength. That's right. You are not a loser, you are a victor. We are going there now, we are going to win that match. Or the final game, it was as if they already knew that it was in them. They were so relaxed. I saw my goal shooter shooting even from far, you know, like she was not that confident to shoot from far. We were not even leading by a mile. We were just leading by 2 goals. In netball, 4 goals, it's nothing. They can just turn a ball at any time. And I was sitting there praying, and I'm like, Lord, can this time just, can it just move? Because my dream was not even me going to Singapore. It was me taking these girls. And I even told myself that if the school does not allow me to go with them, it's okay. If I can just see these girls getting into that flight, going to Singapore. From January, literally from January, on my way to work, I kept on saying, God, this is ours. We are taking this. We are taking this. It's ours. Nobody's going to take it away from us. And there we were. There we were.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I've said this many a times. It doesn't matter how much teachers are paid; they can never be paid enough. We appreciate your dedication.
Thank you
We
so
appreciate all that you've put into it. Imagine get very fast before you look. We're in Singapore. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I've got to move on. And this is interesting because we spoke about Lapana Lekasenge Yilishikama, right? Because hey, but sometimes we do name our neighborhoods amply so. And JJ can tell us, JJ, Skolo Salono, Adam Motsepe Secondary.
Yes.
Adam Motsepe is a man that many in South Africa might not know, but he's one of those that we should be celebrating, and I'm so grateful that there's a school named after him. Tell me a little bit about the name of your school, Adam Motsepe.
Okay, thanks Anile for having me in this program. And then my name is Chancha.
JJ.
Hartley, yes. And then I'm from a rural area of Sekampanen in Hammarskwal. And then I was recruited to that school in 2001. And then immediately when I got to that school, I asked about the name of the school, what it means, why do they call this school Adam Motsepe. Then I met one old man who used to be a member of the SGB, and then he's explained to me that Adam Motsepe was a war veteran who was part and parcel of the Second World War as a black soldier who went there to help the other soldiers for cooking for them. Now I know that background at least a little bit. And then I said to myself, oh, the school was named after a war veteran, which means it's a school that deserves to have all the best things that South Africa can offer.
Because he's not just a war veteran, he's a war veteran who went to war for a country that didn't recognize him at the time.
Yes.
He gave of himself. He gave of who he was and his family to go and fight for that country.
Yes.
You know, nowadays, yes, we're recognized, but we still have veterans, we still have heroes in you guys that are giving of themselves. I think the spirit of Mtati Motsepe, who we must know as South Africans, is carried on through you and the likes of Metokasi, as well as Mtati David as well. And that's why I wanted that story told, because it is in what we're talking about now, isn't it?
Yes.
In giving of yourself.
Yes. Then I said to myself, oh no, his name is Adam Motsepe, is named after the war veteran, and then at the same time, I'm a religious person. I believe that from the Bible, there's the name Adam. So I said to myself, I must also do some miracles to make sure that I hoist the flag of Adam Motsepe very high. Yes, now
I want to focus a little bit not on the football and the netball, which I know you can talk about a little bit. But you guys have a great Eisteddfod team as well, choral music.
yes.
I'm trying to
Yes, Adile, I'm one person who does not love playing with words. I love singing a lot, yeah. And then I did choral music at tertiary. Yes, I was a baritone singer at tertiary. Even now at school, I know all my choirs, if you listen to all my choirs, the melodic line, especially if you listen to the baritones, then you see, oh, the conductor here is a baritone singer.
They say I don't know, but they say you don't talk about music.
We sing music.
They say you don't talk about music.
Also, you want me to sing? Oh, I don't know if maybe I still remember the lyrics of this song, but it's a Latin song. Madam.
Don't worry, no one here is going to know the difference.
Let me try, but it's been long. 15 years ago I sang this song. It goes like, Madamina, e catalogo questo, della bella campo mio, e catalogo che ho fatto io, osservate, leggete con me, osservate, leggete con me.
So the talented schools and the competition there at Eisteddfod, you guys are involved. You're there. You're winning. Tell me about that journey.
Yes, our journey starts very, very. Let me say many years ago. School in the Northwest Province, in a place called Choral in the Radium area, and then from there, some of the principals spotted me on stage, and then they recruited me to their schools as well. I went to Motsepe Primary School. From Motsepe, I moved to Mampadi High School. And then at Mampadi High School, that's why I established myself as a very good conductor at the time. And then the former principal of the current school I'm working at, Mr. Maubane, he saw me on stage. And then he said to me, no man, I want to have you in my school. And then at that time, it coincided with the time that some of the teachers were being declared as in excess in their schools. So mysteriously, I happened to be one of the teachers who was declared in excess in my school. And then I had to move. The principal of my former school tried everything to try to stop the movement, but then it was meant for me to leave. So I went to Motsepe Secondary School. That was in 2001. And when I got there, they had the choir, but it was not that tough choir. So the principal said to me, no, now I'm going to give you all the reins to try and improve this choir. And then in the following year, in 2002, I managed to train a lady called, it was a learner called Octavia Twala. She was doing mezzo soprano. And then she won up to the national championships. At that time, in 2002, 2003, I went with my choir, a full-strength choir now. And then we went to the Dome also. We won, we got position 3 at the nationals. 2004 national, and then 2005 I was invited by Mpumalanga province to come and help some of their choirs there. And then I'm proud to say I helped the choir in Mpumalanga, the school that also represented the province at the national levels in 2005. Which means I was not only working for Gauteng alone. I'm also helping the other provinces, especially because Hammanskraal has been demarcated into 4 provinces. That is Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Gauteng in the northwest.
So your neighbor,
all the provinces,
they are northwest.
Yes, they are my home.
Where now local
Gauteng province, yes.
Okay.
So they are my neighbors, and then they are my family. So when a school from Mpumalanga invites me to come and help them, I go there. I don't even charge them myself. Yes, I process 3. And then I went to Mpumalanga, and then 2009 I returned to the national championships with Motsepe Secondary School. We also got another position. I don't know this thing of getting position 3 always at the national championships. And then 2011, I went to Limpopo. There's a place called Mokwaning. There I trained a school that was new in the music circles. It's called Pezunga. It was conducted by Mr. Kekana. And then I also helped that school. In their first year, they managed to go and represent the province at the national championships. And then 2013, I represented Motsepe again at the national championships at Rema. And then I composed a song about...
Just so you know, I'd hate to write your biography. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yes. Then when the Motsepe Foundation came as ABC Motsepe Saske, I told my choristers that no, Mr. Motsepe is now part and parcel of our music environment. So, which means let's work hard. And then working hard in music, it will definitely elevate them to the levels that they have never seen themselves at before, or maybe it will elevate them to positions where they have cherished to be before. So we started putting more effort now. I said my dream is to have Adam Motsepe taking part in almost every edition of the competition, 2019, 2022, 2023. And then 2019, 2022, 2023, we both came at second place at the ABC Motsepe Saske. And then we got, we benefited a lot from the project, because as I speak, we got a total of 30,000 rands up to so far.
A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. That's it, JJ, I appreciate it. I'm going to move on to Dr. David today on the far end. Dr. David has the honor of having watched the Africa Cup of Nations and seeing some of the players that he once saw as kids coming up at Benny's Sports Academy. And now they're national heroes. One that I can mention, Kuriso Mudau, Sailor, one of the best left backs in the world right now. Right backs in the world right now. In the world right now. And I don't mince my words on that. You can bring whoever. He's one of the best in the world. And you saw him before we even knew his name. Dr. David, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a very difficult things to say. We started this in a 4-room, 17 players, including him that you're talking about. I'm talking about Kuriso. It was very difficult, whereby we didn't even have money to pay teachers. But by the grace of God, we happened to use my salary, my monthly salary, which I was earning 8,000 by then. I took 6,000 to school to maintain these people. It happens that the school grow. After 4 years, then we start getting the subsidy or so. We produce a lot of players from that school up until today. Professionally, when Kuriso comes here, I was with Trot when he comes here. He came with another young man by the name of Lisedi Kapinga. They are from the same location, they are from Messina. Then there were 4, one of them is late now. Very talented players, and we work very hard for them to get there. But the school was doing its work every day, to an extent that we don't miss any Kay Motsepe competition every year. I remember when through all the Champions League, the Danone, we went 2016. We went to France to play the World Cup under 12. That was 2016. The very same boys who won 2023 championship in Kay Motsepe, they were dominating the squad. The national team.
Yeah.
When we win in, what was that school again? Last year. I don't know, I don't remember that place. But the money that we receive from Motsepe, it helps the school. I don't know what to say. Yeah. But I think we were the first to start getting more than $1 million.
Excuse me?
Yeah. We were the first. Because when we were going to receive the prize, my coach said to me, these people are saying now it's $1 million. I said, okay. Then, I said, but it cannot be. They told us it's 3. Then we're queuing up there, and this gentleman from Sanlam brought in that check, 3 million. Yes.
Hey, that gentleman from Sanlam did the things.
But we moved from that type of a school where we're playing on the ground. We're now in a pitch.
There it is. There it is.
We also changed the school. Our school was like a normal school, but we have tiled the whole school, the boarding school, everything. We also put the computers, and our lab is now fine. Yeah, you can come and practice now. You see, I think this competition that I normally say Kay Motsepe is bringing to us, it's very helping. It's very helping. But people didn't notice this. When we were broadcast as the champion last year, now we had a lot of friends. They wanted to know what's happening there. How can we get there? And we give the secret and we're beaten. We're no longer going to the national. But that's how good we are anyway. But you see, I think our country must move to another direction, whereby they identify these academies that are serving education together with sports. I think we need to identify that. I've been there since 2004, doing all these applications and whatever, for us to get a certificate to show up. But it's difficult to get it. You don't even get an answer anyway. But the issue is, we want to say to Kay Motsepe, please move on. You are doing the best. If it was not because of you, you should have not received Mudao as a player. We work so hard with that young man, and I'm proud of him. So, yes, we have won. We'll come back and take some money again and improve ourselves.
I think that's almost our time here, and it's time for us to say goodbye. But there's so much, and the students that are here as well, that I hope they're getting some sort of inspiration from all of this, and South Africa as in general as well. For me, I think what Mr. B said on behalf of Sanlam here, Retail Mass CEO of Sanlam, is that there's synergies between the Motsepe Foundation, who've aptly named this Kay Motsepe, and them. And those are the pillars to which they stand on. The foundational pillars of this union is what he put it as. I think if you listen to the 4 beneficiaries that stood here, the stories they told, the personal stories and journeys they spoke of, the people they serve, they too are founded in those pillars. They too are grounded in those pillars. And therein lies the key to who we are as South Africa, at the core of who we are. We're a corporate that cares. We're a family that gives back to get more family. And at the head of all of this is my mother, your mother, Kay Motsepe, who represents the nurturing K in all of us. For all that you've done. To the Motsepe Foundation and Sanlam for being a part of this. The importance of investing in South African youth and reshaping school sports in arts and culture is an important one. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We've successfully come to the end of this, and we appreciate you having been a part of all of us.